Hi, welcome to Fidelity Local 6. Thanks for joining us. We've got a new program on called Upstage, and our very first guest today is going to be Bob Kraus, who's one of our local favorites, and he's going to start off with one of his own songs. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's not really my own song, but that's okay. This song is called Southern Cross. It's written by Stephen Stills and recorded by Crosby, Stills and Nash. It's one of my favorites in the song list that I have, and the fans seem to like it too.
I'm a fan. I've been a long time fan of you guys. You guys come play at Public House Brewery all the time, and I enjoy what you guys do, and I love your guitar as well, so I'm excited.
All right.
Get that lighter.
Yeah.
Got out of town on a boat, going to southern islands. Sailing a reach before the following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papeete. Off the wind on this heading lie the Marquesas. We got 80 feet of water line, nicely making waves. In the noisy bar in Avalon I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. And I have been around the world looking for that woman, girl. You knows love can endure, and you know it will. You know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why it came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as a promise, the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are dying. My love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship and all her flags are flying. She's all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. And I have been around the world looking for that woman, girl. He knows love can endure, and you know it will. You know it will. So we cheated and we lied and we tested. We never failed to fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. And the Southern Cross.
Woo!
Southern Cross.
I love that. I never paid attention to the lyrics before. I love the story of that. That's
Probably
really
too busy
awesome.
drinking beer or
Probably,
something, or
yeah,
working.
That sounds like me. You know, sometimes I get to listen to music. Every once in a while, that happens. Yeah, I love that, and I love that acoustic version and just the floor tambourine and everything. I like the simplicity of it. It's really nice. So
It is really nice.
it's really cool. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'd love to hear how you started playing music and what got you interested in.
I believe I was born musically inclined. I mean, when I was a kid, I'd always sing, and my parents would play the radio, and I would sing along. I remember probably the first time that I ever really sang a song was singing to the radio "Strangers in the Night," and I did my best as a 4 or 5-year-old to emulate Frank Sinatra as good as I could.
Was that your musical inspiration? Was Frank Sinatra?
Well,
Do you have a
I
particular
guess at
artist?
the time.
That's a good inspiration.
As I was growing up, I started playing clarinet in 4th grade, and really enjoyed that. Enjoyed singing in church. And I think probably my defining moment is when a friend of mine at school brought in a 6-string guitar. And I had been playing a clarinet, and for everybody knows, a clarinet plays one note at a time, so it's a monophonic instrument. So when he brought the guitar, I just fell in love with it. I wouldn't let him touch it. I just held it and messed with it the whole recess. And then I knew. My older brother, Mike, he played guitar already, and so he had amassed a large library of music books and things of that sort. And when he bought a new guitar, he let me then use his guitar. And that's when things really started
Down
going.
from brother to brother.
Brother to
That's
brother,
awesome.
yeah. I knew the songs already, and I sang already, so it was real easy for me that if I could just learn the chords, that I would be able to play the song. And so I was getting a lot of satisfaction in doing that, and I would just spend hours and hours and hours playing.
You got the bug.
I did. It was just fantastic. And I was 14 when I really started playing that way. At the same time, I had already been writing poetry and things of that sort. And once you get into 14, 15 years old, you know, the teenage angst,
Oh, yeah.
hate for parents, et cetera, school comes out. And in my poetry, then, of course, I could take my feelings of that, of insecurities and things of that sort, growing up as a teenager, and put them on paper. So almost at the same time that I was learning how to play, I was already writing songs.
Very creative mindset, it sounds like.
Either that or I just had nothing else to do. I'm not really sure, but yeah.
A little of both. A little of both.
I joined the Navy when I was 21 in 1980. Got married that year too.
Wow.
And put music to the side for a while. I mean, I played guitar on the ship when I was a sailor in the Navy.
Okay.
A couple other guys had their guitars, and so we learned stuff and we played rock and roll. And then about a year before I got out of the Navy, one of my fellow shipmates said, "Hey, I'm in this band and we need another guitarist. Would you be interested?" That's where what I call my semi-professional
Your
music
first
career.
band.
Yeah, my first
Wow.
band. Yeah.
Have you been in a band continuously since that point, pretty much?
Off and on. Back in the early 90s, coffee shops were new at the time, and it was a good venue to be able to go for, you know, $25 or free with a tip jar or whatever, and go out and play your originals or play your covers, and you know, people would sit there and drink their coffee, and they weren't going anywhere, so it was a really good audience
Forced
to play.
audience, really.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I started listening more to country music. And then I saw an ad in the paper. We didn't have the Facebook or internet at the time.
Right.
Saw an ad in the paper for someone looking for a guitarist or lead singer for a country band. And so I started talking with them, and we got together. I auditioned. And we had a pretty successful time playing country in the 90s, that new country, you know, the Billy Ray Cyrus and the Aaron
Make You Break Your
Tippin and all
Heart.
that. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.